Hey, great. Maybe we'll get a little theme song going. I think we give a mouse a piece of cheese to sing that, but hey, it's a start. Who knows? Eventually we'll get some kind of a budget around here. But for now, yeah, whatever works. Well, welcome to the show. Today is Rumor Day. Oh yes. Well, I kind of like to follow the trade news and the industry. See what's going on. And today there's a rumor about processor delays. Yes. I was looking forward to the release of Intel's Kaby Lake series of processors, which was supposed to be pegged for, Q3 2016. And now there's a rumor that we won't see them till Q1 of 2017. Not only that, but the AMD Zen series is also going to be delayed probably until January. I predict here and now, using my cat powers to see into the future, we will see these processors announced at CES 2017. So, well, processor architectures, they're micro, they're families, of chips. So there won't be just one Kaby Lake, there will be a whole family of them. And same thing with the Zen. Now, Kaby Lake will be the successor for the current Skylake. Not been doing so great. Well, at least not for my money. They made the a little bit faster, a little bit more powerful, but it was just kind of a little bump from the Haswell series, and I just don't see the appeal, especially when the fact they made the casings thinner and the processors had a tendency to bend under the weight of really big heat sinks, which I love because I don't like putting liquids inside an electrical device. I'm not in the water cooling crowd. Nope. There are reasons why. I mean, okay, maybe you played a whole lot of Mario Brothers when you were a kid, and you thought, you know what, that makes me a plumber. Yeah, that's it. I played lots of Mario Brothers, therefore I'm an honorary plumber. There, let's go ahead and stick water inside my computer. And you'll hear horror stories from people. Oh, my computer leaked. Oh, my computer died. Oh, it caught fire. Whatever. Yeah, they'll sell you built little things that you can kind of like jam in there that are sealed from the factory, but invariably they leak, the fluids dry out, the little pumps die. In all those circumstances, your processor dies, your computer dies, so I've just never really been a fan of liquid cooling. I like big heat sinks, and I cannot lie. The problem is that Skylake doesn't seem to like them. So I've been kind of curious to see if they'll fix that with Kaby Lake. But now I'm going to have to wait longer, it seems. Or at least that's the rumor. It's not officially confirmed. Now, supposedly, the reason for the delay is, and this I can believe, a glut of Broadwell and Haswell architecture processors. So, hey, I still use a 4790K. That's good enough for me. A nice big i7, with, some Haswell refresh goodness under the hood. Devil's Canyon for the win. So, yeah, Skylake really wasn't that big a deal for me. I mean, to be honest, what I'd really like out of something like Skylake was just being able to address more RAM, Yeah, my, what is it, Z97 tops out at 32 gigs. Oh, the humanities. I need 64 gigs, It's really good for, like, virtualization and things like that. Push it to the limit. On AMD's side, no real word as to why they're delayed. I'm going to, again, use my cat psychic powers and say they're probably stuck with a lot of old stock. Because they've been using older technologies. They're on the lower end of the market. Their stuff works. It's competent and it's very inexpensive, but it hasn't been moving that well. In fact, AMD is having some little profitability problems. They're taking some losses. So I would guess that there's a lot of those APUs. That's AMD's little combination of a processor and a graphics processing unit that's been kind of like married together in this unholy, little configuration they call their APUs, and they sell pretty good for laptops. I mean, the A8s in particular, great for little machines. In fact, I've got one right here in a Gigabyte Bricks, which is kind of like a little hockey puck. It uses, laptop, hardware, except it sits on a desk, and so it's not very big. Doesn't take up a lot of room. So if you live in, New York City or some other cramped place, make about a Bricks. What I liked about Gigabytes, you can also get the Intel NUC, their next unit of computing, but Intel doesn't guarantee that they will work with Linux. And they don't want to provide any support because they're in complete denial that there's anything in the world other than Windows. Well, my Bricks runs, yes, Linux. Yeah, I know, you're shocked. In fact, I'm running Zorin 9 Core on mine. Sort of looks like Windows. Doesn't come with the Windows price tag. And it does everything that I want to do. So that's fine. So, oh, yeah, and my crystal ball. So I think that AMD's probably stuck with a lot of stock, but they're kind of used to that. My guess is that when they heard, hey, Intel might be delaying to Q1, 2017, let's do that too. So I doubt that AMD had to. Of course, at the same time, they're kind of running out of cash, so maybe they are kind of up against the wall. I don't know. Like I said, it's all just a rumor. So, if you're looking forward to seeing new processor architectures this year, forget about it. Probably January 2017. Now, if you're like me and you're rocking a Haswell or a Broadwell CPU, you're probably good. Like I said, we haven't seen anything too fantabulous, out of Skylake, other than the fact that you can address more memory. The motherboards have cool features like dual M.2 and other nonsense, just really expensive toys. But if you're rocking something like a B85, which I've got one of those here too, nice little simple chipset, it'll run up to an i7. Of course, it's not going to run the 4790K. We're only rocking i7 4790. No K part because there's no overclocking, but it's good enough. 3.5 gigahertz. Boy, this thing drop kicks. All the stuff that I transcode with it. So, that's really why I'm looking forward to seeing what AMD's offerings are. I'm a big fan of Team Red. I just wish that whatever their problem is with their technology, which requires these crazy TDPs, of 150 watts or whatever, if they would just fix that. They're going down in the nanometers, just like Intel is, but that heat is still way up there, and many of their processors now require liquid cooling, which I am not a fan of. AMD, what happened? I've still got an Athlon A here. Oh boy, talk about a collector's item. The processor is so big that if someone were to break in here, I could beat him to death just with the processor. So it worked. It was great. 700 megahertz. Oh, back in the day, the Athlon A was the place to be. Even the phones would like it. But these days, poor AMD has fallen behind the curve. And so I think they're just taking advantage of the fact that Intel's having a delay in shipping. And, Intel, they're not really under any pressure to shove stuff out the door right now because Skylake doesn't really have any competition up there at the high end. i7s live up in a world of their own. They're still selling. There's a surplus of stock of them because a lot of people did not upgrade because, we already have Haswells and Broadwells, and we're all happy and love each other, and so much. Oh, and like I said, all that flexibility on Intel's part did not help Skylake's appeal to early adopters. You're like, what? I could spend $400 on that processor, and then I put a heatsink on it, and it will flex. I mean, yeah, personally, I use like those big Noctuas. Yeah! NDH 15 for the win. No. No liquid cooling for me. Nah. Alright, so that's today's rumor. All new processor architectures delayed until Q1 2017. So look for them at the Consumer Electronics Show in January. Who knows? Maybe if nobody's looking, maybe I could slip in the back of the CES. After all, nobody would notice a cat.